Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, we are very close to the election, and Obama is having a freak out moment that is caught on camera, and we got to talk about it. This video right here from Obama basically kind of giving up and throwing in the towel and basically saying, hey, it's pretty much over. We got to talk about this video. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Make sure to smash the like button. I have some more things to show you guys about Kamala, Hurricane Milton, Ron DeSantis. There's a lot going on in the world of politics. We are just really moments away from the election. We've been covering all of this for some time now. So we got Minnesota in the house. We got Lil Psyops in the building. We got Leonard from South Korea in the building. So yeah, we have Obama basically giving up in this video. He's also making a big speech for Kamala. He's basically throwing in the towel, and you'll see exactly why I say that. So let's play this video from Obama as we get people in here. We are 1 minute into the stream. I'm gonna let some people fill up here. Like I said, always comment down below where you guys are watching from. That's very important to me. Always like to know. So we got North Carolina, Oregon. We got North Texas in the building. So let's take a listen at Obama. You're not probably gonna see this while he's speaking and making his big speech in front of the people, but take a listen.
Communities.
Okay.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
Wow. Look at his face, dude. Look at his face when he does that. Bro, look at his face. So he's basically saying that they are not seeing the same type of energy from the black community and in the hood. The hood is not voting for Kamala. Same kinds of energy. We're not seeing the same kind of energy.
Yet see the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
The brothers ain't voting for Kamala. The brothers, is there any brothers in this chat? The brothers, he's mad that the brothers, the people ain't voting for Kamala. Specifically, it's not as easy as y'all want it to be. He's sad.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you.
He's saying that Kamala grew up like the black man in America. That's what he's saying right now. You have somebody that understands you, somebody that grew up like you. Black people in the chat, is this working for y'all? See, I'm only a quarter black, a little more than a quarter, right? But being black in America, I guess you're forced to have to vote for Kamala, right? Your family's been here for generations. Obama's over here pleading. She understands your pain and your struggles, and the choice is clear. Yo, he says she grew up where y'all grew up at. Yo, what you talking about, Obama? You serious right now?
It's clear. When on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Yo, is he serious? He's basically, yo, this guy sounds defeated. That's number one. He sounds very defeated right now. but he's basically trying to lie to your face as black voters that you have to vote for Kamala because she understands your pain and she comes from where you come from and she's achieved everything as a black woman. Yo, this is crazy. They really trying to use identity politics to get over to the black vote, and he is sick. He's mad that black men are not voting for Kamala. He's throwing in the towel. He's throwing in the towel. By the way, I want to go here real quick to speak more in depth about what's going on with Hurricane Milton as we go from one topic to another. I don't want to hold you guys too long. So let's go. You guys already know, you guys already heard what Obama had to say. Now let's take a listen at what's going on with Obama, with Ron DeSantis and Kamala Harris.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis swatting away VP Harris like a pesky fly after she whined about Ron not talking to her about a hurricane that she had no role in managing.
She has no role in this process. All the storms I've dealt with under this administration, although I've worked well with the president, she's trying to inject herself into this because of her political campaign.
And when she isn't politicizing a hurricane, Kamala was looking unprepared to lead. Harris caught on a hot mic, hiding her mouth to tell someone this.
Some of these type of traditional places that could flood, we really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
What was Willie doing calling her at that time? Jessica, all right, we've all forgotten to mute our mics on a Zoom, but it's...
Guys, we got 1,000 people in here. If you guys can do me a favor, make sure to let's get over 1,000 likes. Let's get as many likes as possible. As you guys know, YouTube likes to block these videos and not show them to people. Smash the like button.
Weird because I watched that hurricane briefing and she seemed distracted the whole time to me, and she just kept repeating the same misinformation talking point fed to her. She adds nothing. Why does she feel that she has to be there if she obviously doesn't want to be there? She has a complete lack of, I don't know, interest in things.
I don't feel that. I think that someone can be uncomfortable and trying really hard to do the right thing without it being an issue of being disinterested. And I appreciate that you did lead with, we all have muted mics issues every once in a while, even 4 or 5 years after we started being on calls like that all the time. But the talking point that she's quote unquote being fed, this is a very real issue. And there were people who were talking to reporters in North Carolina saying, I have family members who don't think FEMA is here because of the misinformation coming out of.
Misinformation, really? Misinformation, really?
Donald Trump, other Republicans. So that's a legit thing to be talking about. And I take your point on this. I think that DeSantis has done a very good job in managing this. He is uber competent and confident in these moments. And I think that there were a lot of people who are maybe not necessarily enamored with Donald Trump looking at this kind of moment saying Ron DeSantis would probably be a more unifying candidate for the Republican Party.
But if he had gotten the nomination, no doubt the Democrats would brand him as Hitler. Yep. Because that's what you guys
maybe not
do.
Hitler, something close.
Yes.
Wow.
Judge, Jessica's right. DeSantis had like pre-positioned these line workers. He's so competent. It's always impressive. It's not too smart to tangle with a governor, especially in the middle of a massive crisis.
Ron DeSantis has such great instincts. He knew to move those emergency responders from Tropicana Field when he realized that the storm was going to be so great it would take the ceiling off, and he moved them to Ocala. But I got to tell you, Kamala Harris trying to inject herself when you have a guy as uber competent as DeSantis is, she's never called him before. She's never offered any support before. And DeSantis has made that clear. But what she has done is she's actually interfered with the handling of this rescue before in North Carolina on October 5th. I believe it was 8 days after the storm. People had still not gotten water and heat. They were still finding bodies.
Yes, they're still finding bodies. There's a whole bunch of things going on in North Carolina. There's proof video. There's video proof. There's private citizens trying to do something about it. But the craziest part about it is she's trying to interfere as if she has anything to do with this. She has nothing to do with this. This is between Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis.
And the senators, both United States senators, complained about there being less than 500 people sent there by FEMA. She actually flew into Charlotte, North Carolina. As a result of that, the flight zone was closed. The FAA closed that flight zone for 4 hours, and they were unable to get any rescues. No rescues could happen during that time because she needed to be so egocentric to be right in the middle of that emergency field. And let me just say one more thing. Kamala asked the head of FEMA, this person, Criswell, she says, are we concerned about misinformation or disinformation regarding evacuations? And Criswell answers, no.
Yeah.
Everybody says she's such a great prosecutor. And I want to tell you something. She's not a great prosecutor. Number one, you never ask a question that you don't know the answer to, okay? Because that worked totally against Biden's narrative and her. And number two, she didn't prep her witness. Number three, she, to her credit, she got out the truth that worked against her. But in the end, Kamala is incompetent. She's looking at her notes. She's talking like this. And if her campaign didn't know she was in the middle of a broadcast, they're incompetent and chaotic.
Mm-hmm. You know, Dana, I can understand saying, you know, this hurricane never happened. It's all that's misinformation.
Right.
But when you're framing criticism of the government as misinformation, it feels like another get around free speech thing. You know, as the left keeps publishing articles on the inherent dangers of the First Amendment, you have, you know, this is an attack on, you know, on facts, on truth, when in fact it's just that people can have opinions and say FEMA sucks right now.
Yeah. But also, I think that this whole episode with Kamala Harris and the hurricanes has been more like an episode of Veep than ever before. Because she keeps trying to be like, I'm relevant. Aren't I relevant? Did the president call? And everyone's like, no, we're fine. We got it. And I think what they should have done is to say, the commander-in-chief, the president, is in touch with the governors. The team at the White House has this. I'm going to get briefed on it, but I'm going to be campaigning in these states because we got to win these states, which might then get us to the B block in a moment, because I think that would have been better for her. And there's a reason that governors make for really good presidents. They've had to deal with crises and issues. And somebody can look at someone like a Ron DeSantis and go, wow, that guy can really lead.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at her and she's like not leading.
Yeah. She should have been made the hurricane czar, Jesse.
That is such a great point. They could have done it and they probably would have gotten away with it. I wouldn't have let her get away with it, but most normal people would have attacked her for anything. When storms hit, Greg, I love it.
Really?
I relish it because then I get everything organized at the house. You know, you make sure the generator's on, you make sure the plow guy's going to come the next day. You have food, you have gas in the car. And that's what we do. You know, and then Emma will leave the car out. I'm like, babe, it's going to snow 12 inches. Get the car in the garage. What are you thinking? She doesn't get it. And so it's
definitely don't talk to her like that.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. And then, so when storms hit, like DeSantis, he thrives under these circumstances, you know, to a certain extent, Biden and Trump do too. He's got his map, you know, he's ready to call the police. He's ready to call National Guard. You know, he's waiting for the data to come in. He's warning people. There's something that people do when we protect our people, and he's very skilled at that. Kamala Harris has not shown any inclination to be able to do that. The first hurricane, she was at a party. The second hurricane, she was drinking with Stephen. And this is actually the first time she's ever even tweeted about a hurricane in 4 years. This doesn't come naturally to her. I'm not saying it's a guy thing, but she has shown no ability to take action in this circumstance. Now, you're also right about Kamala and being the VP. She's not in the chain of command. So you have a sitting president who's not running for re-election because he was so terrible. So the VP has to run for the presidency. but he's still in command of the hurricane. And then a former president's out there and he's facing off against the sitting president and they're like squaring up. And she's like, hey, can I play?
Right.
Yep. Can I play? That's exactly what's going on. Here's the craziest part about it. Boris Sanchez begins his interview with Florida's Lieutenant Governor Nunez by making it all about Trump. And this is what they do. Trump's not even president right now, but this is everybody admitting. We have Obama basically admitting that black men are not going to vote for Kamala, and that's a problem. And he's basically throwing in the towel. He's like, yo, you know, he's even making it seem like she grew up like black men. She grew up like black women in America. She's one of them. She's one of, you know, a foundational black American. Like she's one of y'all. That's what he's saying. And this is what the news does as well. Take a listen.
I want to get reaction now from Florida's Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez, who we spoke to yesterday, who's obviously been tracking the storm closely. First, Lieutenant Governor, I just want to ask for your response to what you heard there from President Biden, both about his coordination with local officials and some of the political stuff between him and the former president over disinformation.
Well, certainly, as I said yesterday, the governor has been very focused on making sure we have all the things we need from the federal government. Helene, and then now, of course, Milton. So we've been working very closely with our FEMA director, and the governor has not been able, he has not lacked for anything from the federal government. And so as it relates to some of those comments, again, I think we need to focus on recovery, leave our personal feelings about individual candidates, the former president as well. I don't think there needs to be a time to have that sort of rancor. What we need to focus on is getting Floridians the relief that they deserve and that they need right now.
Yeah, get off Trump's nutsack. How about that? Trying to make it about Trump when it's not. Here's another clip going extremely viral from CNBC versus the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
Hey, Governor, could you just help clear something else up that happened earlier this week? And we were actually debating it at this table. So I got to ask. There was some praise that came your way from President Biden and said that they had spoken, you had spoken. Then there was this brouhaha over Vice President Harris apparently reaching out to you and maybe not taking the call, and this whole thing, accusations that this had all become politicized. Can you just speak to what happened there?
I am working with the President of the United States. I'm working with the Director of FEMA. I'm marshaling all my state assets. We've been doing this now nonstop for over 2 weeks between Helene and this. And so if there's anything I can leverage to benefit my people, I'm going to do it. The fact of the matter is they put out a story saying I didn't even know she was trying to reach me, but she has no role in this process. And I've been dealing with these storms in Florida under both Trump and Biden. Neither of them ever politicized it. And in fact, all the storms I've dealt with under this administration, although I've worked well with the president, she has never called in Florida. She has never offered any support. So what she's doing is she's trying to inject herself into this because of her political campaign. So as the governor here who's leading this, I don't have time for those games. I don't care about her campaign. Obviously, I'm not a supporter of hers, but she has no role in this process. And so I'm working with the people I need to be working with. We're leveraging the resources I need to be leveraging. And for her to try to say that my focus should be on catering to her rather than worrying about my own people just shows she doesn't understand what it means to respond to these natural disasters.
Damn. Boom. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Ron DeSantis, got to give it to you, man. Got to give it to you. This guy might just have a future in politics. This guy right here. This guy right here is pretty good. But it just shows you the type of world we're living in where it has to be about Kamala Harris. Really? Kamala Harris? Why would this be about you? Why would this ever be about you? This is about the people of Florida. We don't care about you're the vice president. You've been non-existent this whole time. It's pretty crazy. So once again, to the root causes of this video, we have Obama speaking to black men and admitting defeat, basically saying that right now we are not doing good. Take a listen.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
That's it. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, the world of politics is in shambles as Kamala Harris, black men, they're not going to vote for you. And now you have Obama making faces and making speeches about the fact that it's over. Make sure to smash the like button. Let me know how you guys feel about all of this entanglements between the real president, Obama. A lot of people claim that he's the guy. So sometimes I might just claim that. Make sure to smash the like button. Let me know how you guys feel. Let me know where you guys are watching from as well. I truly appreciate you guys always coming into these videos. The brothers are not voting for Kamala Harris. What a sad day.